Okay, I want to do this again. This is in response to the DYSGENIC trend by Akobadageth. I'm not going to argue white supremacy, black inferiority. I'm not going to sit there and argue his contend with his claims. I'm going to, for this broader picture, assume that Mr. Akobadageth's theories are correct. That white Caucasoids are the highest on the evolutionary chain. Well, very few white Caucasoids, correct me, I'm sorry. Very few white Caucasoids are on the highest evolutionary chain, while all or 95% of Negroids are on the lowest order of the evolutionary chain when it comes to intellectual capacity. If we take that as fact, and we are basing this on the theory that the DYSGENIC trend is someone of a higher evolutionary strata intermixing with somebody of a lower evolutionary strata, we have to concede the fact that most Asians have a mean score that clusters at a score that is higher than most white Caucasoids. When we take, I won't say most Asians, say most Northeast Asians, I'm sorry. Most Northeast Asians have a score that is higher than most white Caucasoids. Now, even if we take into the fact that there are more white geniuses or more whites that have an extremely higher score than everybody, and that's disproportionately white, the logical conclusion is that it is DYSGENIC for most white females to marry most white males. The only white males that these white females should be marrying is those very few white geniuses that supersede the Northeast Asian and white mean. In your cluster pool, most the New World Order, of more evolved intellectually individuals would consist of mostly Northeast Asians and very few white geniuses. Mr. Akobadageth has said that whites are really superior over Asians because we have far more whites that supersede that mean score. However, it does not take away from the fact that more Asians cluster around a mean that is above the white mean. So at least half of your New World Order has to be Asians. You're going to have some Asians come with you if you're going to follow the DYSGENIC trend. If you're going to follow being against the DYSGENIC trend, or if you want to reverse the DYSGENIC trend, you would have to consider intermixing with Northeast Asians. That's a fact. And if you do consider, Mr. Akobadageth, if you do consider white females intermixing with whites who are not above Northeast Asians on the evolutionary scale based upon IQ, then you're basically a superficial racist. I can only take your scientific racism seriously unless you stick by your guns and maintain the principle that only those who have the highest evolutionary order can be used as mates to intermix with. So all the low IQ whites, all the dumb whites, which based upon IQ is disproportionately white compared to Northeast Asian, cannot be in the New World Order. That colony, those colonies of planets that you just talked about whites going into. Well, obviously, you're not going to be able to sustain that without considering intermixing with Northeast Asians, which I'm sure there are some Northeast Asians that have an IQ score that's above, way above the Asian mean. So, if you're going to be fair about this, you would only have those who are the most highly evolved humans, whether they will be half Negroid, 90% Negroid, Northeast Asians, or whatever. Whatever the results are, those type of males are the ones that white females should be intermixing with. If you don't, then you might as well just support the view of Stefan CM that says, hey, I really don't care. If they're not white, I don't care. I only want whites in my community, and that's fine. But if you're going to justify this to the majority of the world, you're going to have to consider that. So that's all I have to say. Have a nice day.